Ah, yes, a company being irresponsible with user data. Just another day in the life, I suppose. This time I am referring to none other than GameStop, an infamous company now that, doesn't really seem to be doing much to really elevate its business model, but it doesn't help that optics surrounding its ability to do right by customers is not entirely positive, and with this data breach, that's only bound to get worse. So, this is the headline you'll see today. This is from Video Games Chronicle. It reads right here, GameStop's website is reportedly showing customer data, including addresses. Users report seeing other customers' information when refreshing their accounts. They have essentially doxed a number of customers by essentially displaying the wrong information to customers who have been attempting to use their website, be it to make purchases or change their password, whatever it might be. And this was initially reported on Reddit when the following Reddit user published the following post 13 hours ago. The headline here reads, "Every time I refresh the website, I can see someone else's name, phone number, address, order history. It's like a cycle of 4 or 5 people. This is very worrisome. Can't even change password because of this glitch." Now, it's worth noting that this post has been removed since it was posted. I don't know exactly how long ago, but the moderators of this official GameStop subreddit do consist of employees, and I can only assume that the removal of this post was because either they wanted to save face by not allowing this information to spread as far and wide as it could, or to essentially ensure that people don't get ideas. The more word about something like this spreads, the more people try to go to GameStop's website and try to exploit this essentially bug on the website to potentially try to obtain other people's personal information, maybe do something malicious with that. So it's, very much damage control. But scrolling further down, you'll find that this is not just one user who experienced this bug. Apparently, this was the case for a number of people 13 hours or so ago. Scrolling down, you'll find people saying things like, "Same, I'm seeing other people's orders except mine. This is very serious. It is going to get GameStop in a lot of legal trouble." Here's somebody else saying, "Same, this is very worrying to me." Here's somebody else, "In-app, everything seems to be working fine, but yeah, the website is effed. Yup, happened to me too, and don't recommend buying anything for a bit." Scrolling further down, you'll find somebody who goes into even more extensive details. "Oh God, I tried it and it's doing it for me too. Addresses, birthdays, emails, etc. This is really bad. You can view the digital currency codes as it sends the verification code to your own email. My friend was able to view a full credit card number by clicking on a card, but the site reloaded quickly after that. He didn't have enough time to see the whole thing." So some are reporting that beyond private personal information, credit card numbers were visible in their entirety for those who took that extra step to click on a card that was visible. And it's not just on Reddit where people have been reporting this. If you go to Twitter, you'll find the following Twitter user, Erica, tweeting at GameStop, "WTF, every time I refresh my account, I see other people's information and orders, even addresses. Is this real?" And attached to the tweet are screenshots that show proof that this is something that people have indeed been seeing. So right here we have a screenshot showing the order number alongside the user's name, their address, and the payment method that they use, including credit card information. And you can also see right here information on what they ordered recently, and then refreshing the page, the Twitter user found that somebody else's information showed up. You can also see their credit card information. I'm curious as to whether it's only showing the last 4 digits. Some numbers do seem to be censored out by the website itself. But again, as a Reddit user reported, as I showed you previously, some have been able to click on a credit card and they were able to see the number in its entirety. And then right here we have information about the order itself and the fact that this GameStop user bought Sifu Vengeance Edition, and you can see the exact order number and amount and the cost, and I mean, it's all there. All the information that shouldn't be available for people to see is visible. And on Twitter, this also doesn't seem to be an isolated incident. We got the following Twitter user who posted, "GameStop website was tripping out and kept hopping me between a couple dozen different profiles. The name at the top of the screen kept changing, the items in the cart and the pro rewards points thought I was being hella hacked, but the GameStop app seems to be stable. And here's one more Twitter user who further confirmed this. GameStop site is melting right now. Every time I try to check my order status, I'm getting a different order page that belongs to someone else. Already, word has been spreading far and wide about the situation, and Video Games Chronicle itself has requested comment from GameStop and will update this article. GameStop definitely has to address this. They have to be transparent about the degree to which information has leaked and the degree to which people were essentially doxxed. While I'd like to think that many people who encountered this situation and saw other people's information approached everything in good faith and decided not to exploit this, there are bound to be a couple of nefarious actors who exploited this situation, decided to jot down all of that personal information, and intend to engage nefariously on that front. So people need to be made aware that this has happened so they can take precautionary measures. The unfortunate reality is that stuff like this isn't necessarily uncommon. It's happened so much in the gaming landscape alone. Recall that back in December of 2018, when Bethesda and Fallout 76 was dealing with the whole nylon bag versus canvas bag for Fallout 76's collector's edition situation, when people were asked to submit support tickets for those who wanted to get their nylon bag replaced with the advertised canvas bag, there was a situation where Bethesda accidentally made personal information public, with some players now reporting that they have mistakenly gained access to the support tickets and personal information of many of these unhappy vault dwellers, in a situation that's not too dissimilar from what's going on right now with GameStop, which forced Bethesda to release the following statement in which they confirmed that we experienced an error with our customer support website that resulted in the exposure of a limited number of customer support tickets. Upon discovery, we immediately took down the customer support website, remediated the error, and restored the customer support website. They did go into great detail as to what they discovered surrounding this situation, noting that the exposure window lasted approximately 45 minutes, that fewer than 123 customer support tickets were submitted and may have been partially or fully viewed by others accessing the customer support website, and of those, 65 customer support tickets contain personal data that may have been exposed. No user account, passwords, or full credit card numbers were included, Bethesda assured, but there were certain compromising personal information like email, address, and phone number that were made public in a way that wasn't intended. And then another similar situation that I think is far worse happened when the ESA, with their lapse in security on the E3 website, leaked the personal information of over 2,000 journalists and individuals who attended as media to cover E3. We're talking about name, phone number, address, email, everything you can think of. And keep in mind that these are prominent figures. So these are folks who received far more exposure from all of this, and essentially E3 opened journalists and media outlets and content creators who are targets of harassment and threats and all these things. They opened up the floodgates for them to essentially be in more danger than they can be. And like with the GameStop situation and the Bethesda situation, this was a case where it wasn't, a security breach. It was just a lapse in security where they accidentally left the door unlocked, essentially, for the public to be able to glean that information that they weren't meant to glean. I guess time will tell whether GameStop will respond to this situation and address what's going on here and be transparent about the extent to which users were affected, the extent to which personal information was leaked, the extent to which people were doxxed. It sucks that companies continue to show how irresponsible they are with user data and how unimportant it is for them to preserve the integrity of privacy that users expect when they give away that information. I'm not saying that GameStop did this on purpose, but something like this happening is just far too commonplace for me to think that companies care enough. The hope is that once investigations are thoroughly conducted and we get an idea of the extent to which private personal user data was leaked, GameStop will face the appropriate consequences and repercussions, though unfortunately it usually tends to be that companies don't face major enough repercussions when something like this happens to motivate them to take the security of private personal information of user data as seriously as they should. But I suppose we'll see how this whole situation plays out and just how bad the leak of personal information was, how long the website allowed users to refresh their page and see other people's orders and personal information, and exactly how many users were ultimately affected. In the meantime, though, if you're a GameStop customer who has a GameStop account where you have personal information and credit card and debit card information attached to that account, just be aware that this is something that's happened, and just keep your eyes peeled for news on this. and maybe take appropriate security measures and precautionary measures just in case. Just putting that out there for those who might find this information useful. But there you have it, folks. That's everything we know right now, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated as this story develops. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on this whole situation, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.